As I'm recording this video, I have returned home from Evo France. Obviously, I'm not in France. I'm not in Nice. I am at home, as you can see. I had a great time at the tournament. It was a great event. I think it was run very well. Shouts to those guys that did it and worked on it. Damascus was amazing as a host. Great things happened. Arslan's 7th Evo. That's ridiculous. But that's not what this video is about. If you want to know my thoughts about Evo France and more, you can just come by the streams and ask me, because that's not what we're talking about today. Today we're talking about Miary Zo. And why I am a bit perplexed by what we've seen with this character and what this means to the future of the game. I thought there was a lot going on. Obviously, I'm sure you guys thought the same. But I sort of came away from the trailer. My overwhelming thoughts were that I think Tekken just jumped the shark. That was my initial thoughts when watching the trailer. That was just me. I saw the trailer. That was the first thing I just tweeted. That was my first thoughts, right? In case you guys are unaware, the term "to jump the shark," the idiom "jump the shark" or "shark jumping," or "to jump the shark" means that a creative work or entity has evolved and reached a point in which it has exhausted its core intent and is introducing new ideas that are discordant with or an extreme exaggeration of its original theme or purpose. Now, this wasn't the best wording from me. It was just the first thing that came to mind. Tekken just jumped the shark, right? And I think no one really understood what I meant by that. I think a lot of the replies I got were quite aggressive and angry, and they were like, "What do you mean? Tekken's always been weird and goofy." And I understand it's social media, people aren't gonna ask, "What do you mean?" Some people did ask, "What did you mean by that?" But people aren't gonna do that. They're just gonna react first. But I understand why, right? Because again, when people see the term "jump the shark," their thinking behind that may just be the story. The story being different. And again, that is why I understand not the best wording on my behalf. Because again, Tekken has always been very weird. And as someone who's been involved in this game for a very long time now, I played the games of Tekken 3. I know the story is weird and goofy. No one needs to tell me that. I actually really enjoy the Tekken 8 story mode and the DLC expansion as well. Because again, actually wasn't even DLC. It was free to play. But because all that shit was goofy as fuck. That's what I enjoy about Tekken. I think it's cool, people speaking different languages to each other, and obviously ogre, etc., right? But yeah, there was a lot of people that were just act as if Clive and Victor and also doing mystical shit. Yoshimitsu was always a weirdo. We literally had a demon chucking fireballs and 2D jumps in the last game. Tekken was always weird. It happened in Tekken 6 with Lars and Alyssa turning ogre into a cute young girl. This game is cooked. See, someone actually asked it in what way, because after Angel versus Devil Kazuya Lamau, someone actually asked, Jinpachi had a mouth on his stomach and could fireball, teleport back, and double fireball. Tekken has been goofy. The quote retweets as well. Tekken is a grounded fighting series, and they're showing Roger and Gon and Mokujin and Yoshimitsu and Eliza and I think people thought my meaning was story wise the series has jumped the shark. There's nothing wrong with Miary Zo. The other time you need to go to bed. So people were quite they didn't like what I had to say about this. But again, I wasn't talking about the story at all. Story-wise, whatever. I generally have no problems with Miary Zo story-wise being another ogre, because I think Harada tweeted a while ago about the ogres. There being different ogres in different continents and sections of the world, and Miary Zo probably represents the African ogre. The ancient ogre that we know was the Aztec ogre. So this is the African version, because if you look at the trailer, which we'll look at in a second, we'll go through the trailer in this video. The ogre that we see, that when her eyes glow, is different to the ogre that we know, right? So it's probably the African ogre that either she's reincarnated as, or she just is that fighting god. Maybe she is ancient ogre from then before, and then she can transform into that true ogre. Who knows? But what I meant by this was purely from a gameplay standpoint. I think purely from a gameplay standpoint, I think Tekken jumped the shark. And I did find some things I saw in the Miary Zo trailer worrying. I'll be very honest. From a game, I know it's only the trailer, it's not the full thing. We don't know frames and whatever, but there were just things in the trailer that we have talked about as an issue before, we've complained about, and we still see them now. We'll take a look at the trailer now. And the first thing, here's the thing. When I say from a gameplay perspective, right, why I feel like Tekken has jumped the shark, is because we now have characters doing this. She did a backflip and is hanging off of the wall now. She has the staff. You know, we'll just watch the trailer, right? Because the only reaction on my channel is the one that where I was live. So you guys haven't like seen my reaction to it. Yeah, obviously this isn't a reaction, like I've already seen it, right? But how it actually felt about it, because there were just lots of things in this trailer that, I'll be honest, I found worrying, right? But I think what they did, the way the setup and everything, it was really cool. You know, I like this. The story is the part I like about this, right?
She naturally became interested in martial arts.
Like, they're giving her a big build up. This is the newest character. I think giving her more story implications than Azucena even. Also, people are saying this is confirmed. Oh, you can't see because my camera's in the way. Hold on a second. People are saying this is Australia. This confirms Marduk, because someone is coming to fight her from Australia. Our only Australian character is Marduk and Roger, I guess. But yeah, people are saying this could mean we've got Marduk back. You know, you got UK over here. That's probably Steve. You got France. You know, so United States. Actually, United States. Actually, this is like East Coast. This could be New York. This could be Leroy. So I was thinking it could have been Bob, but that's like East Coast New York, East Coast America, East Coast New York. So yeah, that could have been Leroy, right? Also, I never heard the music. I haven't heard the music properly because I was watching it in the venue and it wasn't really amazing. Also, one question I genuinely have to ask right now is, I genuinely have to ask this because I know everyone's thinking it, and I said it when we first saw Miary Zo at Evo Vegas. Why did they give her such fat tits? Like, seriously, it's actually distracting. Why did they do this? Is this why they did the boob update? So all the other female characters didn't feel left out? Because Jesus Christ. Sorry about that. But right. So, like, gameplay wise, like, this is all fine for the most part. This was the first thing I took issue with in the trailer, and it's like 30 seconds into things happening. Is she does presumably this is a 10 frame jab, right? 10 frame punish into stance, and it's like, this is the type of stuff we've been talking about. Like, we don't want more of it in the game, and then more of it is coming in the game, but like, that's whatever. But like, really and truly, my thoughts from the character and thinking this is, you know, Tekken jumping the shark is just gameplay wise, and it's just things like this, you know. And then from this wall jump, she has an armor breaking move, right? And then you break. This is something that I am very interested by, right? Because it looks like Azucena broke the throw, and then Azucena is now in a mix-up for breaking this throw, presumably, right? Because of this stance. And then don't get me started on the pole dancing. Like, so here, you know, it's this is another stance, and it appears to just going to be a full low crush type thing, because Ling did a homing low, and that might be like a hell sweep that could stagger block. That's a launcher using the staff, but like, it's just pure gameplay things. And like, the wall jump isn't the only thing, you know. We'll see more things. Now this to me is this, I hope this is unsafe, but it's like homing mid heat engager. Like, it's like the things we have been talking about, that like, so this looks plus on block, so she jumps plus on block mids into homing mid heat engager, where she is literally pole dancing, by the way. And then there's her heat smash, but it's truly boggles the mind. But that's, again, that isn't jumping the shark to me. Also, you know what's crazy? In the venue, I don't know if you guys heard it in my video, the crowd went insane when we saw Ogre, like Ancient Ogre and True. We went insane thinking, oh my god, Like, is she gonna? I was thinking, oh, she's gonna transform into ogre at some point, or like Miary Zo is just like a cover, and really we're bringing back a new ogre. But no, she's just the reincarnation. So you see, she does this. You ready? She lets you know with her fists. And then the music now is I think this is Tekken 3 ogre, I think. We're using some ogre animations here. Like, I'm pretty sure that's and also if you see her ogre is like a unicorn. Let's see, where does it? Here we go. Like this ogre, the African ogre, is like a unicorn. You know, which is like, that's pretty cool. And then you see like the features of her ogre come through in her gameplay. And then here's my next gameplay jump the shark moment. Is you see this angle right here, right? Like the wall is not behind Jun, it's 90 degrees this way, and Miary Zo is able to get a wall splat from a 90-degree angle and then follow up with a full combo. Like, what that was the second jump the shark moment for me, right? That was jump the shark moment 1 was the wall jump, because I was like, this is just not Tekken. I don't know what this is. Jump the shark moment 2 was the 90-degree wall splat. I'm still not over that, by the way. Jump the shark moment 3 is this, because what is going on here? Like this, like, here's the thing. I understand that Tekken is in gameplay really and truly was quite a grounded fighting game for the most part. It was quite a grounded fighting game. You know, it was, you had 1, 2, 3, 4 representing each limb, down for 1, jab, down for 2. Like, a lot of it was martial arts based, but then there obviously was the sort of crazy wacky stuff, like a just frame skyrocket, launching them that high in the air, you know, Yoshimitsu, etc., right? But for the most part, it has been quite a grounded fighting game, which I think, and also made it quite easy to follow. You know, I think Tekken has always been pretty easy to follow. This, to me, was just like, and I'm assuming this is similar to the wall jump stance, because the move she does here, I think, is the same as the move she did versus Lily after the, yeah, it looks like the same move. So this, and what I think this is, based on just the very limited information I have right now, is when she's in heat, she has access to the wall jump, because again, you see the blue behind her similar to the wall. She has access to the wall jump stuff without need for there being a wall. I'm assuming that's what that is, but just the full 90-degree jump into, like, dive at power. This is gonna break power crushes. You know, it's like, I don't want to, I'm not trying to be doom and gloom. I know, like, I understand that, like, if I am quite negative about the game and say certain things, the comment section also reflects that, and people go quite over the top of that. I don't want that, but I'm just really right now giving my open and honest thoughts about what I'm seeing. And it's like everything else gameplay wise is just, it's just Tekken 8, you know, like, it's not terribly unfamiliar, but I just truly think gameplay wise, Tekken 8 jump, that was my overwhelming feeling from this. And I don't know why she is literally beating you up in the stratosphere. But like, here's the thing, it's annoying to me because I quite like the character. I like what they've done. I like the idea of, like, an ogre coming back a reincarnation of an ogre expanding on the storyline. I hope there's like a DLC story expansion thing as well. You got this goofy thing with Dragon. By the way, you can't point at a chameleon apparently. You have to point with your fist. But yeah, also I think she's coming out super early. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I find that kind of worrying that she's coming out so early. She's coming out in December. Don't get me wrong, like I want to play new characters and have new content as fast as possible. But I feel like December, because again, that's before Tekken World Tour Finals. I don't think we've ever done that, where we've had the last character and newest character release just before the finals, and then will presumably be playable by the finals. I don't think we've ever seen that before. To me, it seems rushed. It seems like they're rushing things, and what, like the I don't know about you guys, and this might just be me alone how I feel, but to me it gives the feeling that they are trying to rush season 2, get it over and done with as fast as possible, and then all chips are in on season 3. That is what this feels like to me. Her coming out this early before Tekken World Tour Finals, and also the fact that there haven't been balance patches. You know, the last balance patch we had was July, and that was minimal. We are now in October. I wasn't anticipating. I was hoping for a balance patch to come with Armor King, and it didn't come. So what this says to me is they are rushing. We'll get the new character out as fast as possible. Season 2 will be done. We'll do the season 3 announcement at Tekken World Tour Finals. We're gonna have characters, you know, who knows who comes back. Maybe they'll do a guest next season as well, depending on like budget, what they can do, what they're thinking. There'll probably be a guest character, and you know, I think I said before, I made a video before season 2, and like in the thumbnail it was something like season 2 is make or break, or something like, or question marks, and like it was a bit tongue-in-cheek back then, like, because obviously like I wasn't expecting season 2 to release the way it did, etc. But I think season 3 may actually be make or break, I think, for the team. Things aren't being received well. The devs aren't communicating with us as well as they were before. The player base is unhappy if they've ever been. Tournament numbers are down. I think EWC is what's kind of keeping this game afloat competitively and the viewership wise, because you know, obviously the Saudi money, that's very big. But like, I think if EWC does continue and Tekken does continue, I think what will happen is it'll be a case of like EWC keeps Tekken competitively alive for half a year, and then Tekken World Tour and people are like, oh, you know, like, because the game isn't moving the needle right now. Tournament numbers are down, tournament viewership numbers are down. I was obviously just at Evo France, and like hearing some of the things people have to say about this game, like people simply are just not happy right now. And I think to myself, I hope that, you know, if that is the plan, if listen, we're not going to do any more balance patches for season 2, if the patch we are on now is the patch we are going to play Tekken World, sorry, they are going to play Tekken World Tour Finals. I'm not qualifying, competing for Tekken World Tour Finals. The patch that they are going to play on Tekken World Tour Finals is this patch, and they're like, season 3 is where we'll fix everything. Then like I hope they know what they're doing. I hope this is the right decision, and they understand what they're doing. They get things done. My only worry with season 3 is they just do a repeat of season 2, where it's like, okay, we're gonna do a few nuffs, and then we have to do buffs to make up for the nuffs, right? Because a lot of characters will happen to a lot of characters. Like Jin got like 2-on-4 nerfed and up 4-2, things we've been asking to get nerfed. Then they just gave him like the craziest moves you've ever seen in your life, like running 3 into stance, and they sped up his lows, and you know, that's just not what I am hoping to see. But only time will tell in that regard. But yeah, I with Miary Zo gameplay wise, like you have the 90-degree wall splat, and the 90-degree jump into dive kick that breaks armor that appears to be plus on block and obviously does chip damage because she's in heat. Like I gameplay wise, I think Tekken just jumped the shark, because even with characters that are mystical and different, like Victor for instance, like he's still pretty much like, he's not doing anything completely otherworldly absurd that we've not seen before. You know, we have stuff like running 2. Like, I think the craziest thing probably is QCF2, where he shoots the gun at you, and that's like the craziest otherworldly thing that he has in gameplay wise, right? Like things actually while playing the game and like mechanics. Like part of me wonders as well, this Miary Zo wall jump, is this just gonna become a gameplay mechanic as well? You know, part of me wonders if that, because they've done that before in Tekken 7. Geese was the only one who had wall bounce in Tekken 7. Then season 2, season 3, and on, everyone else got wall bounces. Only a few characters had guard breaks. Now in Tekken, it's like your character doesn't have a guard break. Like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Like, everyone got guard breaks now, man. Like, fuck. Stuff like regaining heat in Tekken, even within Tekken 8, you know, regaining heat. That's something they just started to give to more and more characters. Like they gave it to Lauren Lars in season 2. You know, only a few characters I did in season 1. Now more characters are getting it over and over again. You know, this feels like, is this going to be another case of a mechanic that was character specific that more people are going to start getting down the line? And yeah, I think Tekken jumped the shark with the gameplay only. Story wise, you know, that time the ancient fighting god got reincarnated as a teenage girl, like, sure, yeah, like whatever. That's Tekken. Tekken is goofy story wise. I don't care about that. I like the idea of it quite a lot. But it's the gameplay for me. That's the worrying part, because this is just so, like, again, there's nothing wrong with like with unique characters. Like, I'm not saying that's the issue, but I mean, in Tekken 8, are they even unique characters? Because everyone does the same things now. Are they even unique characters? You know, everyone's doing plus on block, homing mid, 50-50 into stance, heat engage. You know, like I guess she's the most unique character right now with the wall jump and with the wall jump and the 90-degree jump and the 90-degree, you know, wall splat, like doing things we've never seen before in Tekken. Like, I think gameplay wise, this is just unlike anything we've seen in this game. And only time will tell if they've gone too far with it. I like, here's the thing, I obviously want this to be good. I want all of this to work and to enjoy the game, and I hope it is great. But yeah, I just this was Tekken's shark jump moment, gameplay wise. But yeah, with all that said, that's gonna be all from me on this video. Please like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed, and hype. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.